Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Elk Grove Unified School District Virtual College Fair. We are so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools with us here today. My name is Brianna, and I will be your facilitator. Before we get started, just a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. However, you can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time throughout the presentation. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the schedule on the website. There is one more session happening after this one this evening. This presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivecan.com/elk-grove. I'd now like to turn it over to our first presenter, UC Berkeley.
Hello, everybody. Let me share my screen here and we can get going. All right, welcome. So my name is Henry Tsai. I'm the Assistant Director of Undergraduate Admissions at UC Berkeley. Hopefully y'all can hear me all right and see the screen. I swear I've done this before. All right, so let's get going. Thank you for joining us and taking some time out of your day to listen to us talk about our institutions. Hopefully we can give you some good tidbits and help you decide where you'd like to apply to and ultimately where you end up going. So here we go. And that would include me advancing the slide. All right, so Berkeley is part of the University of California system of 9 undergraduate campuses, one application for all the UC campuses, right? So we're going to talk about Berkeley today, but understand that you will, and we encourage you to apply broadly. When selecting where to apply, maybe consider the major because we don't all have the same majors. We have a lot of similar ones, but not all the same. Also, the location, as you can see on the screen, we're scattered all across California. And so you have a lot to choose from the coast and the beaches to more urban areas, all that good stuff. So some are next to Disneyland, so can't be all bad, right? So it's next to Disneyland, happiest place on earth. So there you go. You have a lot to choose from. Right? So Berkeley is located in the San Francisco Bay Area, just minutes from Oakland and San Francisco. Well, that's on a good day without traffic. Minutes away from Oakland and San Francisco, and about from where you all are, probably a little less than 2 hours as well. So we have tons of great restaurants, music, and culture. And I believe near our campus, we have boba shops, tea shops every, 2 feet, something like that. It's pretty crazy how much boba we have all around campus, just letting you know. That should be a draw for you. Also, at Berkeley, we pride ourselves in the work we're doing to increase diversity and maintain diversity as much as possible on our campus. At Berkeley, students learn from their peers, right? So coming from all different places, different backgrounds, having diversity enhances the educational experience, really. Because you're not learning just in the classroom, you're learning from each other and having each other as sounding boards and discussions and discourse and all that good stuff. So 26% of our incoming freshman class will be the first in their family to obtain a bachelor's degree. 5% are rural, so we're not bringing students just from urban areas or large suburban areas or things like that. We're also trying to increase that number as well, that percentage. 74% are from public institutions, so we're maintaining that access to everyone, even in the face of increasing competition year after year. Last year, we had over 100,000 freshmen first-year applicants, so that was a little crazy. We broke 100,000 for freshmen first years last year. And we are a global university with students coming from 74 different countries and speaking over 20 different languages. So at Berkeley, we have six different programs, 5 colleges and 1 school. We have College of Letters and Science, LNS, so I would say LNS for short. It's our largest college with majors in the arts and humanities, social sciences, physical and biological sciences, and interdisciplinary studies, which is just a funky way of saying make your own major, right? So you could just talk to a bunch of different faculty and make your own major. Pretty cool. Then we have a College of Chemistry, one of our the only colleges in the country specifically dedicated to the area of chemistry. Pretty cool. So they do a lot of, it's really the opportunity and means for students to meet major scientific and technological challenges. So for instance, recently a professor won the Nobel Prize in chemistry for the CRISPR technology. So that was pretty cool. That was last year. Then we have engineering, which is one of our top engineering schools in the country, and pretty amazing. And then environmental design is an interdisciplinary approach to majors like architecture, urban design, and sustainable environmental design. Then CNR, Rosser College of Natural Resources, focus on environmental sciences with majors in health and science fields. So a lot of pre-med students go to Rosser College. And then we have Berkeley Haas, second oldest business school in the country with one major, business administration. And then they're usually junior admits only. However, there are a few programs that are interdisciplinary programs for first year students, like MET, Management, Entrepreneurship, and Technology, if I can say that, MET program, Global Management, and Biology plus Business program. So definitely check those out when you get a chance as well for first year students. Discovery and research. It's basically, there are so many different programs for you to help you realize your research dreams, if you will. So research is a big part of all the UC campuses. And so there are just here, there's only a few options, but those are just ones we feel like highlighting. There are so many different ways for you to do research on our campus. So definitely check that out. We have websites and websites dedicated to that. Then finally, we have support and enrichment, which is just so many ways for you to find support, as you know, really nobody goes through Berkeley alone. So these are just a few ways for you to do that in order to find help, tutoring, free tutoring, all that good stuff. So definitely check these out as well. And then finally, if I have 2 seconds, just student leadership activism. It's a huge part of our campus. Challenging the status quo is really where it's at. And this is where students really shine. And that this is something that we look for in our students when we're reading your application. So I'm not going to do this slide because I think I'm running out of time, but we can please engage with us here on social media. And we also have Discover Berkeley series that's coming up that you can find more information as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Henry. Next, we will hear from Cal State East Bay.
Hello, everybody. My name is Kumar Krishan. I am a outreach and pre-enrollment counselor at Cal State East Bay. 1 second. I talk pretty quickly because I have a limited amount of time and I'll cover a lot of slides. So if you have any questions or if I went too fast on something, just feel free to drop it in the Q&A. So I'm going to start off with this first slide. That building right there on the left is our core building. It started construction in fall of 2020 and it's slated to be completed fall of 2022. It'll be the new hub of our campus in the central location. We want pretty much everything to happen around this building. It also houses our new library as well as several of our student center, African American Student Center, Asian Pacific Islander, as well as Hispanic and Latino Student Center. We are located in Hayward, California, in the Hayward Hills. We have amazing 360 views of the San Francisco Bay Area. You can actually see across the straight across the bay to San Francisco. Again, amazing views. We do have 2 satellite campuses, one in Concord, and we have a business center in Oakland, which is for certification to degree completion, as well as your accelerated master's program. We are a HSI campus, so Hispanic Serving Institute. We are the most diverse campus in the CSU system. Common misconception about the CSUs in East Bay particularly is that you don't have the opportunity to do research. Cal State East Bay not too long ago put in a molecular research lab as well as an environmental analysis lab and an advanced technology center, which is a fancy way of saying a VR room for our students to play in for video gaming engineering. We also have current psychology research and sleep study going on our campus. We have the largest nursing program in the CSU system with 162 spots every year, 62 in this fall, 62 in the spring. We also want you to have a robust student experience and student life on campus. We have over 120 clubs and organizations, including 30 Greek fraternities and sororities. And we have on the first 6 weeks what we call the weeks of WOW, which are 6 weeks of events, which include A concert in the fall, which it's a giant block party. It's actually called Al Fresco. We always have major artists come out for that. And in spring, we also have what we call Spring Mayhem, which we have major artists come out for. We've had Kaylani, Kamaya, as well as YG and other artists come out. So we have very robust student life to offer our students. We have 46 majors to choose from. Of the 46, only nursing is impacted. If you're coming out of high school, you'll apply for a very specific undeclared major, undeclared nursing interest. All other programs are direct admission. In other words, once you're admitted to the campus, you will be admitted to the program, with the exception of nursing and music. You do have to audition for a spot, but it is not impacted. If you want to learn more about our majors, you can scan the QR code on the bottom right. On the admission side, because of COVID, we have slightly changed our admissions requirements. If you fall at the 2.5 GPA or higher with your A through G completed high school, there's no reason you shouldn't be admitted into East Bay. We also have the minimum we'll take is a 2.0. If you go up to a 2.49, you do have to meet additional criteria, which is on the next slide. I'll show you that in just a second. If you decide not to go the freshman route and go to a junior college first, you do have to meet specific transfer requirements: 60 transfer units, 2.0 or better GPA, and 3 upper division courses that are listed right there: public speaking, written communication, critical thinking, quantitative reasoning. We also, starting fall of 2022, will be taking lower division transfers. For lower division transfers, you have to have a 2.0 or better, less than 60 units, complete the written communication, quantitative reasoning, and have met all the high school admissions criteria. So you would have to meet all the high school admission, freshman admission requirements. Again, for those students that fall between the 2.0 to the 2.49, these are the additional criteria you can use to get admission into the CSU, to East Bay specifically. Again, we are not looking at SAT and ACT. So these are the reasons why we have bonus criteria for our students, and any courses off the A through G are the primary and the big ones. If you're part of an educational program, if you're a first generation student, if you have military experience, your parents, grandparents, as well as if you have work experience or leadership experience, all that will count. Cost of attendance is $6,995 a year. And the way that works is you pay it all at the end of every semester. It's split in 2. These are overestimated numbers. Do not get sticker shocked. There's only one application to apply to all 23 campuses. It's Cal State Apply. You can get it. The website is calstate.edu/apply. Application opens October 1st. And for us this year, it closes February 15th. That's specifically for East Bay. There is a $70 application fee. There are fee waiver questions built into the application, so make sure you're filling out everything accurately. And students who do qualify for fee waivers will get 4. Highly recommend students apply to 2 of their top choices and 2 campuses that are not impacted, and at least 1 that's local. And this is also my last presentation with Cal State East Bay. I'm actually moving to the EOP department. So your contact from here on out will be Lena Corn-Clock. I'll also drop her contact information in the chat after the presentation. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Thanks, Kumar. You were not kidding about talking fast. Next, we will hear from University of Connecticut.
Great. Thanks so much, Brianna. Okay, let me go ahead and share my screen for just a second. Sorry about that. Okay. All right. So my name is Heather Schrang. I am the admissions officer for the University of Connecticut in Northern California. I'm excited to be here tonight to share with you a little bit more about UConn. So at UConn, we like to say on to bigger ideas, on to better answers, or it's on. Looking for students challenging the status quo and looking for creative solutions to tough situations. So first and foremost, I like to start with, where is UConn? So Connecticut is located in the northeast corner of the country, and our main campus is located in the northeast corner of the state of Connecticut. So our main campus is located in Storrs, Connecticut. We're about an hour and a half south of Boston, 2.5 hours north of New York City, and a little over an hour from Providence, Rhode Island. So if you are looking for a traditional college campus, it is rural, directly around where our campus is located, but you'll get that feeling of being on a traditional college campus. But with access to 3 major metropolitan cities, you'll be able to get that at Storrs, or at UConn in Storrs. We are the flagship university in Connecticut. Our main campus in Soares is also our largest campus with just over 19,000 students, undergraduate students, and we're about 24,000 students altogether, undergraduate students, including our other campuses, and about 30,000 students, including our graduate student population. So we are considered a large institution for our region. Obviously, I know I'm here with some other schools that are a little bit bigger, but that's for us, that is a large school. We are also a tier 1 research institution. So for any students interested in research, whether it's STEM related or otherwise, you'll absolutely get those opportunities as early as your freshman year. This is just a slide to give you a little glimpse of what campus is like. We do get all 4 seasons at UConn. So that's the one thing I always like to mention. Fall is the best season on campus, in my personal opinion, but we do get snow. So if that sounds intriguing to you, great. If that sounds like absolutely not, then maybe we wouldn't be the right fit for you. But campus is really beautiful and you get lots of really awesome experiences on our main campus. So we are a very diverse university. 45% of first-year students are of ethnic and racial minorities. 1 in 3 first-year students are first-generation students. We embrace diversity at the university. We have 6 cultural centers located on campus in our student union, which is right in the center of campus as well. So that's something that we pride ourselves on, and we're always looking to grow in that diversity as well. As far as academics, we have over 115 majors at UConn, as well as over 320 minors and concentrations across our 10 schools and colleges. So there's absolutely opportunity, if you don't know what you want to study, to find the right fit for you. And if you have an idea, but maybe you have some other varying interests, you can absolutely mix those together and potentially double major or major and minor, or do a concentration. Some of our most popular majors at UConn and why students want to come to the university: business, nursing, engineering, medicine, and then of course, our College of Liberal Arts and Sciences as well. We are able to offer smaller class sizes due to a 16:1 student to faculty ratio, which is important, not just for small class sizes, but also for your access to faculty, whether it's for research or just building relationships throughout your 4 years at UConn. We also bring over 700 companies to campus every single year to work with students and recruit them, whether it's for internships or jobs after graduation. So we are a Division I university. We have 21 Division I sports. We're most known for basketball, especially women's basketball. Go Huskies. So we're very proud of that. Our students are very proud of that. They're proud to be part of UConn Nation and represent the university, attend sporting events, and just be part of the community and feel that hype and that excitement. We also have 37 club sport teams on campus, as well as over 700 clubs and organizations. So plenty of opportunity for you to get involved with whatever interests you may have. So just quickly, a couple things about the university. These are just some traditions. Ouzball is the nation's largest mud volleyball tournament and takes place on campus every single spring. 3,000 to 4,000 students participate in that. So those are the muddy students you see on the screen there. We also have Huskython, which is an 18-hour dance marathon. We also have, we make our own ice cream from our cows at our working farm that's on campus. So some of the best ice cream you'll ever have. Homecoming Carnival, UConnic Music Festival. Those are just a number of different traditions and student life things that go on campus. It's very lively, very active. As far as admissions, we are on the Common App as well as the Coalition app. We require a self-reported academic record, a personal essay. Letters of recommendation are not required, but recommended, and are optional and recommended for admission. We do take a holistic approach, so that is really helpful when we're reviewing the applications. We are a test optional institution, so of course it's not going to hurt you one way or the other if you decide to not submit a test score. And that's the case for including for any of our more selective programs, as well as for consideration for merit scholarship. Students are automatically considered for merit scholarship and honors when they apply. There's no additional application that's required for those. Absolutely, the test score would not affect that either. And as far as deadlines, we do not have early action or early decision at UConn, but we do have a priority consideration deadline for our special programs in medicine, dental medicine, law, and education. That's the mandatory deadline for those programs to be considered. If you miss that deadline for those programs, you will still be considered for admission to UConn, just not for that program. It's also priority consideration for merit scholarship and honors. And then January 15th is the final deadline. March 1st is when all admissions decisions go out. And last but not least, these are just some opportunities for you to connect with the university, whether it's in person, if you happen to be on the East Coast and want to come visit us, or if virtual makes more sense for you right now. Of course, we're still living in the time of COVID-19. Absolutely feel free to connect with us virtually. I will also drop my contact information in the chat. And as I mentioned, I am the admissions officer for this area. So you are welcome to reach out to me. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Heather. Next, we will be hearing from Poly Pomona.
Hello, everybody. My name is Matilda Obaseki, and I'm an outreach counselor at Poly Pomona. Welcome. A little bit about Poly Pomona. We are about 25 miles from downtown LA and about 21 miles from Disneyland. And can you all see my screen? Yeah, perfect. There we go. And we are actually a Cal State. We are considered a mid-sized campus, but I think we are on a growing spot because we are almost close to 30,000 students. And our average class size is about 32 students. We are a polytechnic institution, meaning that everything that we do is learn by doing and hands-on approach. So for all major students have to do either a research, they have to do a project or do an internship before graduation. In terms of athletics, we are Division II, and those are the sports that we offer. And for those students that are interested in being part of the team, please feel free to go ahead and reach out to the athletic department, and they will go ahead and connect you with the coach. In terms of student life, we do register about between 275 and over 300 clubs and organizations every year. Of course, last year was slightly different because of COVID. We do have Greek life, we have community and identity centers and cultural centers, and we also have programs that help with community service. We have a lot of special programs, and I'd like to highlight a few. People tend to think that we are an engineering school, but yes, we are known for our engineering programs, and we do have a program called Maximizing Engineering Potential. And that program helps students or gives students the tools to succeed and do well in engineering. We do have study abroad. We have the Kellogg Honors Program. And for students that get into the Kellogg's Honors Program, actually they get priority registration. And we have 3 programs that I would like to highlight because you have to actually apply or indicate on the application when you submit the application that you're interested in that. That's the California Promise that guarantees a student to graduate in 4 years, except for our architecture program, because it is a 5-year program, the EOP program, and the Renaissance Scholars Program, which is a program for former foster youth. And speaking of Renaissance Scholars students, they are guaranteed housing for all, for the 12 months, so they stay on campus all year round. This is our housing. As a matter of fact, this is brand new housing. Students moved in the 15th of January last year. And then you know what happened in March, so students had to move out, but the students from the Renaissance Scholars had to actually, have to have housing, so they were able to stay in the residence suites and the residence halls. And for those students that are interested in housing, you can reach out to the housing to find out how they're doing it because things have changed because of COVID. These are some of our student support services and resources. They range from, admissions to undocumented center. We do have campus tours, in-person campus tours every day at 9 a.m. And then at 2 p.m. we do have a virtual tour. And those are some of the, like I said, resources. We want to take a picture of that, to learn about some of the resources we have. And then for those students that usually use the Disability Resource Center, I always tell students, please make sure that you reach out to them as soon as you get an admission decision, because sometimes for those students that need some accommodations, they will need some paperwork that need to be transferred so that they could be able to help you once school starts. We are considered an impacted campus, meaning that some of our majors are impacted. So these are the majors that are impacted. And what impaction means is that we get a lot of applications that we have spaces for. So these are majors that are very competitive. I would say on top of that, architecture, we get about 1,500 applications every year, and we only have spaces for 102 students to come in. So I would say that's one of our highly impacted majors. And then in terms of engineering, mechanical is our top engineering major. And then we get a lot of students in computer science, as well as students that go into animal science, which is for students that want to go to vet school, and animal health science is for students that want to go into being vet techs. In terms of the application, in terms of the requirements, going through your A through G requirements, and students have to get a C- or better. And then there is an exception for students that end up getting a pass or a credit during COVID. We'll go ahead and take those, and they will not be, those grades will not factor into your GPA. And we do not require any test scores for this upcoming year. We are part of the Cal State, like I said, so everybody who applies on Cal State apply, and our application opens, I can believe it, Friday, October 1st, and we close on November 30th because we are impacted, and it is a $70 application fee. However, if you do qualify for a fee waiver, you can apply up to 4 schools. In terms of our tuition and fees, it costs about $7,438 per year. So we are on semester. So you divide that by 2, that's going to be how much it's going to cost you per semester. And of course, other costs, will vary depending on whether you live on campus, you commute, or you live off campus, and then transportation and whatever personal expenses you might have. And in terms of that, I always tell students, please apply for FAFSA. After FAFSA opens up on October 1st, please apply for that. And I tell students as well, please apply for scholarships. So what they're going to tell you to go ahead and write an essay. That's fine. That's free money. It's money that's going to help you for books or for transportation. So I always tell students, please, please, please make sure that you apply for scholarships. It doesn't matter what school you go to. Just make sure that you go ahead and put your head in there to apply for scholarships. In terms of tuition and aid, about 70% of our students receive aid, and 44% receive Pell Grants. Pell Grants, and then 22% receive loans. And this is our contact information. Please go ahead and reach out if you're interested in meeting with a counselor to do pre-admission counseling, or if you want to sign up for a campus tour, or if you want more information about Cal Poly Pomona. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Matilda. And next we will hear from York University.
Bear with me, I'm just having a weird technical thing. One sec, let me share my screen. I'll go with this one. Okay, can you just confirm that you can see?
Yep, we can see it.
Sec here. There's suddenly a bunch of stuff up on my screen and I can't actually make my slide full. One more minute. For some reason, everything is going awry all at once. Oh my God, I've never had this happen. Bear with me. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay, now it's good. You can all see. So my name is Ruby, and I believe I'm the only university that's from Canada here tonight. So thank you for coming. And I don't know if you've considered international schools, but you should. And you should definitely consider Canada. And here is some reasons why. All Canadian schools are publicly funded, so they are actually very high quality, or else the government does not fund them. So any university in Canada is incredibly respected all over the world. If you want to go on to graduate programs, any school from Canada is an undergraduate degree is respected and will be appreciated. It's called having a portable degree. Tuition in Canada is, there's a range, and knowing that all the universities are high quality, that range becomes even more attractive. So depending on where you want to live and the size of the school, the price can range anywhere from $17,000 to $54,000 a year. Now that's Canadian. So if you do the currency conversion, take a third off. So for instance, $1 is the equivalent to $1.30 Canadian. So it's basically a third off. So if it's 30,000, it's actually 20,000 US. Transfer credits are granted. Canada is one of the safest countries in the world. It's usually ranked first or second in quality of life. It is a very multicultural country. We are constantly promoting multiculturalism, immigration. They call it a mosaic. Canada is very pro all of that. We have universal healthcare. You'll pay a small fee at the university, but you can walk into any hospital with any issue and it will be covered. And the employment opportunities, which is usually one of the most attractive things for international students, is you don't need a special visa to work in Canada. So you can work as a student while studying. You can work up to 20 hours a week while you're in class, and then 40 if you decide to stay in the summer. As well, all of our co-ops and internships are paid. And then additionally, if you decide you want to get some international work experience before you leave after you graduate, you can apply for a post-graduation work permit, which is for 3 years. And it's also a bridge if you want to apply for residence in Canada. We're not trying to steal you, but it is something that people use for that purpose. York is in Toronto, which is the largest city in Canada at 4 million. It is a very urban center, but there are parks located throughout the city everywhere. We're also on one of the Great Lakes, so you have access to huge bodies of water. There is a tremendous amount to do here. I basically tell students, if you're bored, it's your fault, because there is a tremendous amount. There's every kind of festival. There's every kind of possible restaurant and cuisine. 50% of the population of Toronto were not born in Canada. It is a very multicultural city. You'll hear different languages every day on the street, always. And every concert, every cultural festival, every movie, everything is here. And you can access it. It's completely at your fingertips. Oh yeah, 180 languages are spoken, et cetera, et cetera. Let me go to the next one. Okay. We actually have 2 campuses currently and a third coming in the next couple of years. One is huge. It's the Keele campus. It has about 45,000 students. It has 90 buildings and it's all within itself. It's like a huge city block. But if that's too overwhelming for you, that size, we have the Glendon campus, which is 20 minutes away from the Keele campus, and it only has 4,000 students, and it's completely surrounded with nature, has a very East Coast US Ivy League feel. Here's some facts about York. Every university has wonderful facts about it. So let me just move this here. So we have over 10,000 international students from 178 countries. And what this means for you is not only are you going to make amazing friends, but your learning in your classes is going to be exponentially higher, because everything you discuss, you're going to get the opinions and perspectives of people from all over the world, which is invaluable for your education and also for your future. We have over 200 academic programs across 11 faculties, and we have a tremendous number of university partners. And what that means for you is that means exchange possibilities. So you can actually come to Canada, do your degree here, but then also take a semester and go to Italy if you're studying visual arts, or China if you're studying business, or whatever your interest is, or you just want to go to a different country for a semester. They are all possible. Okay, in terms of our community, we have, like I mentioned, the faculties. We have 3,000 students living on residence. Also, your first year, you're guaranteed as an international student a spot. We have 3 gyms, incredible sports facilities. When you have a school this big, it's amazing. Olympic-sized swimming pool. If you're a fan of tennis, we have the Rogers Cup is played on York's campus every year. We have 40+ restaurants of all different dietary requirements. It is very international in terms of the food you can access on campus. You can do almost everything on the Keele campus without leaving, which I think is particularly important for first-year students who are international and they're just learning how to be away from their families and how to navigate this different country, et cetera, et cetera. And you don't have to leave the campus until you want to. They have doctor's office, dentist, hair salon, optometrist, grocery store, bookstore, all of it is on campus. Okay, just a sec here. These are all our programs. We actually, it's easier to tell you what we don't offer, but we have everything from dance to space engineering to environmental studies to disaster management, psychology, law, nursing, education. We have an entire engineering school. One of our business programs is ranked #1 in Canada if you're interested in a business administration program. And the most important thing I think about this is sometimes students think they have to give up an interest if they're going to a school. Here you don't. So if you're interested in business, but also want to take a photography class, it's possible. Or if you are interested in environmental studies, but you want to take film as well, you can do that. And I think that that's a really great place to be, to broaden your horizons and to learn more about what's interesting to you. Admission requirements for US. They tend to be anywhere from C to A averages, depending on what curriculum you're in. Some degrees will require a higher average than other, depending on how competitive they are. We also, right now, we don't require the SATs and the ACTs for fall 2022. Fall 2023, a decision has not been made yet, but this decision of waiving them was specifically due to COVID. So if you are planning to start next fall, you do not have to submit SAT scores. We don't need them.
Great, thank you so much, Ruby.
Oh.
So if all of our panelists can turn on their cameras, we are going to do some Q&A. I have a couple of questions for them that they can answer for you guys. So they are going to answer in the order in which they presented. So the first question is, what is one piece of advice you would give someone going through the college application and search process?
Yeah, can you hear me all right?
Mhm.
Cool, thanks. So I would say don't overthink it. If your friends and all, relatives and like older classmates are like, oh, this is what I did, or nobody does this, and you have to think about it like this. Like, don't even worry about it. Like what we are telling you, and if you go to other different presentations, like that's the way it's done in our offices. When people start overthinking it, then they tend to become too focused on the problem and those issues instead of what they are trying to present about themselves, if that makes sense. So it just starts coming off as disingenuous, or that you're not really showing who you are in the application. So, just focus on you, be you, and take it or leave it, that kind of an attitude in the application, and you'll do well.
It's Kumar from East Bay. My piece of advice for students would be, don't pick a major for a career path. Find out what you really want to do, and there's several majors that can get you there. So be critical on the career path rather than the major you're picking, because again, there's several ways to get there. Only piece of advice I have for my students.
I would say one of the biggest pieces of advice for students is don't be afraid of admissions officers. Don't be afraid of admissions counselors. We are here to help you. That's what we are paid to do, but that's what we want to do. I think most of us in this field really enjoy this and working with students and helping you figure out your educational goals and where might be a good spot for you. So don't be afraid to reach out. We want to hear from you. We want to talk to you. I get really excited when I hear from my California students personally, especially because I'm on the East Coast. So yeah, please reach out.
Okay, to echo what all my colleagues have said, I would say do your research and remember that college is all about a fit. So make sure that as you do your research, your friends may be going somewhere else because of whatever reason, but just make it about you. It's all about you and it's a fit for you.
I would say all this is absolutely perfect, what everybody's saying. One thing I'd like to add, though, is think about yourself and what will make you happy. It's not just about a program. It's about, like, once again, it's like the fit. If you need certain things that will make you a better student, ultimately, like if athletics are really important and you want to have access, or if you need to be near nature, or if you want a certain social club, or you want to be in a certain kind of environment, that is as legitimate and as important as the program, because it's going to be your entire experience. Your education is not just you in your classroom. It's a very impactful 4 years. So think about all the things that matter to you and what you need to keep to do your best, and prioritize that.
That is some great advice, everyone. My next question for you all is, what is just one thing you want students to know about your campus?
Oh, I think I already shared it because I spent so much time on my presentation talking about boba. So yeah, There's like so much boba there. It's ridiculous.
For East Bay, it's our location. We're so ideally located that the city we're located in, Hayward, its motto is Heart of the Bay, because you can get to San Francisco in 45 minutes. You can get to San Jose in 45 minutes. So the job market, just being a local tourist, it gives you that opportunity. So it's just our location is so ideally located.
I would say I mentioned it in my presentation, but the dairy bar ice cream, Brianna, actually our facilitator, has been there, has tried it. She can speak to it, but it is honestly some of the best ice cream you'll ever have. It's about as fresh as you can possibly get. So yeah.
For me, it's hard. I'm torn, but I'll go ahead and say, because we have, we have agriculture, so we do have live animals. So we have horses, we have sheep, we have a llama, and for those, yes, we do. And for those students that sometimes students think, oh, horses are only for students that are in the animal science or animal health science. No, we do have students that you can go ahead and actually bring in your own horse and have it there. And then some students actually go and because they have horses at home, they just like to go and play with the horses. So it's just, the animals are for everybody, not just students in the agriculture.
I would say for York, it's a very international experience, but not overly shocking for somebody from the US. It's like international, but not. Like one of the things that's a friend of mine who came up was so surprised by, and it's such a weird little thing, but we have a lot of chip flavors, potato chip flavors in Canada that's overwhelming to Americans. But other than that, we're pretty much the same. Our currency is very similar. So there's that. But then at York, you're also getting such an international flavor. I'm from the East Coast, and I thought I was pretty traveled and pretty international until I moved to Toronto and went to York and realized, oh no, I don't know anything, because you're in this environment with, like I said, 178 countries talking to you all the time. It's amazing.
Can I just butt in real quick? Ruby, there's a parent that's asking for your contact info in the Q&A section.
Okay, thank you.
Kumar. Yeah, so all of our college reps, if you did not put your contact info in the chat so all the participants can see it, please feel free to do that. My last question for you all is, what is one myth about the college process that you want to debunk?
I would say just grades and test scores are what we're looking for. That's just not true. I mean, we look at everything in the application by and large. So don't just focus on that, and really give yourself the time to prepare a good essay, personal insight question, response, whatever the case may be, and really showcase who you are and what makes you awesome. So don't shortchange yourself. You have a lot to offer, so don't be afraid to put that on the application.
For East Bay, it's that people always assume we have a rolling admissions. We don't have rolling admission. Whether you apply on the first day of the app or the last day of the application, you have the same opportunity of being admitted to East Bay. However, if you submit your application sooner, you'll get a response from us sooner, and your application will be processed sooner, but it doesn't mean you'll get the final admissions decision, or if you applied last, you won't get in. So it doesn't matter if you apply on the first day or the last day, for the same opportunity of getting into East Bay and the majority of the CSUs.
I would say that a myth I want to kind of dispel is that, and I don't say this lightly, so I don't want anyone to think that it's, I'm just kind of brushing it off, but there's probably not just one single college that's for you. There are a ton of colleges and universities in the United States alone and beyond, in Canada, in Europe, all over the world, and most likely there are multiple that are going to offer what you have and be a great fit for you. So I think we all remember our college search and how it can be very easy to get super focused on one particular university, and just open your mind and think about that. So there are going to be other schools that are going to give you exactly what you want.
Okay, for us, I would say that people always think that Poly Pomona is an engineering school. They just think that We only have agriculture and engineering. And we do have, we have theater, we have political science, we have hospitality management. Actually, we have a restaurant that's run by students that are in the hospitality management program. And also we have a hotel. So, when you're looking at schools, go ahead and do the research. Don't assume, oh, this school is looking for this. They're not necessarily looking for that. Just like go ahead and do your research and make sure that it's all about a fit.
Those are all great. And I had to rethink my answer twice because you guys were so on it. I guess with York, I'll say the myth that a huge school doesn't have personal qualities to it. Depending on the degree you're applying to, your classes can be incredibly small. Like if you've applied to film or theater or music, those are much smaller programs. So they will be very intimate, even though the school itself is 55,000. So that myth that a huge school means that you won't have those kind of experiences.
Well, I certainly learned a lot, and I hope you all on the line did as well. Thank you so much for joining us. When you close out of this window, there will be a link to a really quick 5-question survey, and we'd really appreciate any feedback you can provide. We do encourage you to check back the schedule. We have one more session tonight, so please make sure you learn about 6 more awesome colleges and universities. And you will be able to find this session's recording as well as all the other session recordings at strivescan.com/elk-grove. Thank you so much. And thank you to all of our college representatives for the great information. Have a great night.